Alright, so I'm currently shooting the double cluster with the Celestron Nexstar 8se on the Advanced VX mount, taking 1-minute exposures. And you can see this how my guiding is looking. Quite nice. Not bad at all, really. And there it is. It's a fascinating object, especially visually through a telescope. If you've ever seen this, it absolutely fills up the field of view with stars. These two clusters here, just absolutely so many stars. It's phenomenal visually. And I photographed this before with a much lower focal length, and now I'm shooting it with the 8se at the with the f6.3 focal reducer, so it's not the complete, native focal length of the telescope. It is reduced some, but still it's much more magnified than my previous photo. You can see this is the 64, so I'm working the 65th exposure, and yeah, it's a really nice night. It's very clear, but we've got the moon. It's like one day after being full, so a lot of people don't bother with deep sky on nights like this if you ain't got narrow band filters, but it's a perfect night to work clusters, and this is an absolutely phenomenal cluster. And I think after I gather a little bit more data on this, I'm going to go to the ET cluster and shoot that for a little while. It's one of the Caldwell objects. It's not on the Messier list, and actually neither is this double cluster, but it's just a phenomenal object, and totally worth checking out, and totally worth all the the hype that it gets, because it's just so cool. We can zoom in too real quick and see how the stars are looking up close. You can see the pretty pinpoint, looking good. So I'm happy with how this is going tonight. So I will stack all this data in a little while, and we will see what we get. So I've now just switched over to the ET cluster, also known as the Owl cluster, and you can see it kind of looks upside down, but those are like two bright eyes and the body with like extended arms and like legs. So it's just a really cool, interesting, another jewel around Cassiopeia. The double cluster that I was just shooting previously is actually in between Perseus and Cassiopeia, so this is right around the same area. It's just an area in the sky loaded with lots of stars. So yeah, we are just working this target now, so it'll be interesting to collect a whole bunch of subs here and stack these, and just get a nice little photo of this cluster. It's another unique one, and it's a really cool one to see visually through the scope as well. It resolves well, and all those stars. It just looks fascinating visually. Clusters were always one of my favorite objects to look at visually through a telescope. They're always all the little shapes and forms that they take. It's just really interesting. But yeah, we'll take some photos here and see how these turn out.